Is the market holding steady, or are we about to see a shift? Well, as you can see, I'm not in my usual spot recording this. I'm on the road, but it's got to get done. So no surprise today. Bank of Canada held a rate. It's kind of what we were expecting to happen. The last time that they actually did a rate reduction, they kind of already told us that they were baking in the tariff threat to us already. Inflation did come in a bit lower than they expected as well, and it was from last month, but not enough, I guess, to warrant another rate decrease. We had an interesting meeting that we were able to sit in on that Fidus Mortgages invited us and organized an awesome event that had a BMO economist there. And what they were saying is that they expect the rate to actually come down 3 more times before the end of the year. So it wasn't going to be consecutive, but they were expecting it to come down like 0.75. I spoke with somebody at TD yesterday. They have a little bit of a different projection, and they're basically saying like throughout the year, they're basically expecting it to come down another quarter to a half. So depending on who you talk to, you're going to get a little bit of different information. The consistent thing there is that it's not all going to be consecutive, and it's going to see how kind of what's happening and then react kind of accordingly to what's happening, whether it be inflation, tariffs, or anything else that kind of comes up. Just quickly with the numbers, nothing too crazy exciting. One thing I was happy to kind of see is that the inventory increase wasn't huge like it has been for the past few weeks. Roughly, we were getting in at about 1,200 units per week. This time we had just under 900, 876 listings that were new to the market. Even if we compare back the inventory to last year, we still have 9,773 listings more, which is just under 60% more inventory available for sale throughout the GTA. I believe Halton still had like around 80% more inventory than they did last year. If I look at the sales volume is up tiny little bit, a 1.2% increase over last week. What does that equal across the whole GTA? It's about 13 sales, so nothing like huge over there. The one thing I do want to point out is that Freehold homes, they were actually up week over week, 2.2%, and condos was down 0.9%. Year to date, we're still down 25.2%, which is about 5,000 units we're down in terms of sales so far. And then if I look at the price, again, the price is kind of holding steady. If I look at it week over week, we were up about 1%, which was about $11,500 in average selling price. And if I compare it to the 52-week high, we were up 0.1%, which is about $1,600. And so prices kind of continue to hold steady. But the question still is going to happen here is that, look, our inventory is still increasing. Our sales are kind of steadying off, but still further than last year. Prices are still kind of holding. So I think really, again, if we don't start to see that sales activity happen, we might start to see more of a downward pressure on price. Sometimes when I look at it week over week, sometimes we're up a little bit, sometimes we're down a little bit, but it's still kind of holding on more or less. Again, I think the other thing that's going to happen is the election. It's kind of in 2 weeks from now. I think the election is going to have a bearing on what's going to happen. Obviously, the Trump tariff threat is still there. I think it's a little bit more forgotten about, like I've been saying, but the election, I think, is still on top of mind. And I think that's going to kind of show us how the rest of the market is going to go. I don't think it's going to be depending on who wins. I think it's going to depend on what happens after the election. Hope you guys enjoyed this, are enjoying these little market updates that I'm putting out. If you think that there's something I could change about these or some information that you feel that would be more valuable for me to share with people, please send me a DM, shoot me a message, drop a comment below. I'd love to know what you guys are also thinking about where the market is heading. And, if you guys are hesitating about making a move in the market, what's the hesitation? Just curious, would love to know. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of the week, and we'll talk to you next week. Cheers.